Okay, my dear brethren, we will start now with a word of prayer. We have some terrible things that you will see to make you recognize this is a serious matter. This is not a question of joke. This is a life and death matter. And in this issue here, we need to make sure that we follow the Bible counsel to prepare for the end. Okay, brethren? Amen. Okay, brethren? Amen. All right, so let us bow our heads and have a word of prayer. Let us pray. Gracious, loving Father, please be with us right now as we enter into your word. Please help everyone here listening to get a proper sense and understanding of what we are speaking about. Bless everyone here with wisdom, with patience, with rational thinking as they learn these truths to prepare for your second coming. Thank you again for hearing us and blessing us through Christ our Savior. Amen. Amen. Okay, so we have this study called The Time of the End. And basically we want to show things that happen within the time of the end. And we have some terrible video footage here for you to see and to help us understand that we are living in the end of it all. So let us get prepared and let us be serious about our Christianity. You may not have been dedicated enough, but you need dedication. You need to really follow on Jesus Christ as much as possible. Okay? We will now start by going to the first chart. And turn with me to Daniel chapter 7. Daniel chapter 7. We will read from verse 15 to verse 17, first of all. But if you observe this chart here, it tells us the first time of the end is a period or span of time. A period or span of time. And we are told end events that causes the end of the world occur therein. So when you hear time of the end, you're dealing with a period of time. And in that period of time, you have end events that causes the end of the world. These events occur therein, which is within the period called the time of the end. Do you get that, my dear brethren? So now let us just start off first and look at the phrase time of the end. It is a biblical phrase given to us by God himself through holy angels. Yeah. Through holy angels. It is given by God himself. So if you ask yourself the question, who invented the phrase time of the end? Let's see who invented it. Let's read. Daniel chapter 7. 15 to 17. Chapter 8. Chapter 8. 15 to 17. Chapter 8. Daniel chapter 8. Read it. And it came to pass, when even I, Daniel, had seen the vision and sought for the meaning, then, behold, there stood before me as the appearance of a man. So Daniel is seeking the meaning of a certain vision that is given to him. And then suddenly something looking like a man appears in front of him. Like that. Let's read on. Verse 16. And I heard a man's voice between the banks of Ulai, which called and said, Gabriel, made this man to understand the vision. Notice something that happened here, right? So he was by a river, and the river is Ulai. So a man, or someone looking like a man, appears in front of him. And then he hears somebody's voice from by the banks of the river Ulai, commanding Gabriel to make Daniel understand the vision. In other words, Gabriel cannot be commanded by a common angel. He cannot be commanded by a human being. He is only commanded by the commander of angels. And that is Jesus himself. So Jesus himself is telling Gabriel, make Daniel understand the vision. Let's see what happens. So, verse 17, he came near where I stood. And when he came, I was afraid and fell upon my face. But he said unto me, understand, O Son of Man, for at the time of the end shall be division. Did you just see that? So as this creature came close to him, all the power in his body, like it left him and fell down on his face. And the angel told him, understand, O Son of Man, at the time of the end shall be the vision. So who it is created the phrase, the what? Time of the end. Human beings? No. It's a divine invention. What do you say? Amen. So when we hear time of the end, we are actually looking at a phrase that is what? Divine. It came from God through angels. So when you and I say time of the end, you're actually just repeating something an angel first showed to man. Is that understood? So we didn't invent the phrase. So some skeptics like to say, oh, you two, you're just thinking about time of the end. Excuse me. Long before we ever spoke about it, angels gave it to us. And if it is given to us from the divine, we might as well use it. What do you say? Amen? This is a case where few phrases are given to us by God in the Bible to use. And one of them is the time of the end. So if God gave us a phrase like that to use, must we use it? Yes. Amen, brethren? So we want to use a phrase and understand why God gave us this phrase. Why did he give us the phrase time of the end? Why should you say time of the end? And I want to give you some shocking video footage here about the time of the end. Is that understood? Amen. Of course, the time of the end ends in the end. As you will see. When does the time of the end end? At the end. That's what you will see. Amen, brethren? Let's look at Daniel chapter 10 again. This time, we look at verse 20 and 21. Now, I am just using this again to show you who gave us the phrase time of the end. Who gave it to us? So these scriptures you are going through here is to find out who gave you the phrase what? That's what you want to find out. So let's look at the scriptures. Let's find out who gave us the phrase what? Time of the end. So we first start in Daniel 10, 20 and 21. We read verse 20. Then said he, knowest thou wherefore I am come unto thee? And now will I return to fight with the prince of Persia. And when I am gone forth, lo, the prince of Grecia shall come. But I will show thee that which is noted in the scripture of truth, and there is none that holdeth with me in these things. But what? Michael, your prince. So we see that again is an angel talking to Daniel. And the angel is telling Daniel, the only person who understands these things, what I'm telling you about, is Michael. And you know, Michael means, the word means, who is what? God is. Michael is the commander of the angel. It's Jesus himself. right? In its pre-incarnate form.
Right? I was asking a question, right? Yesterday, right? I watched a movie named Gabriel, right? Just answer the question for me, right? You see Michael, because you see Michael turned out and he became Satan. And then after you see Gabriel come now to fight Michael. And then after Gabriel killed Michael, Gabriel want to commit suicide. What that would be?
It would mean that the Jews like a lot of fantasy. Not just only that, they love blasphemy. And today we would like to know angels are like them. If angels are like them and angels are accepted by God, then they should be accepted by God in their sinful state. It's always about sin, always about seeking to be justified in their sins. Now let's read again here now. Let's just see. So in other words, the angel is saying that a lot of evil angels was interfering with the king of Persia. Okay? And was seeking to destroy what God was using the king of Persia to achieve. So, in other words, Gabriel had to go and fight with the king of Persia against the evil angel. And when he fought with the king of Persia eventually told the Jews, go back and build your temple. Amen, brethren? Right. So the point about it is they won. Now it's that same angel that continued to speak in chapter 11, verse 1, because he will speak right on to chapter 35. To verse 35, sorry. Okay? Let's just look at chapter 1. Chapter 11, verse 1. The angel continues to speak. Also, he's telling Daniel, in the first year of Darius the Mede, even I stood to confirm and to strengthen him. And then in verse 3 he says, and now I will show thee the truth. So in other words, this angel again is saying, I helped Darius the Mede. Remember, temptations came with Darius the Mede to put Daniel and destroy Daniel, you know, because he was studying and all these sort of things, and praying and so on. A lot of temptations came to Darius nevertheless. But the angel is saying, I helped him. So we know one thing for sure, the one speaking there is not a man but an angel. Now let's go to his very words in verse 35. You found it? Verse 35. Here's what it tells us. And some of them of understanding shall fall, to try them, and to purge, and to make them white, even to the time of the end, because it is yet for what? Time of the end. Notice, even to the time of the end. So again, who is the one that uses the phrase time of the end second time? An angel. From who? God. So we know that God wants us to get familiar with the phrase time of the end. So he said it once to an angel, he said it twice to an angel. Amen, brethren? Now go to chapter 12. We will look at 4. We will look at 8. And then we will look at 9. Verse 4. But thou, O Daniel, so Daniel is being spoken to. Is that not so? Yes. That's right. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the what? Time of the end. Did you see that? So here's the third time again the phrase is used, and it's still an angel using it. Did you see that? Now, all this, what this means for us in human culture. In human culture, we must take things from angels. What did he say? At least borrow a phrase from the angel and let it become part of your culture. Would that do you evil? No. Would it bless you? Yes. Did you see that? So the third time again, but it is an angel using the phrase what? Time of the end. So what if you say time of the end? What are you doing? You're repeating what angel said. What do you say? Do you hear that, my dear brethren? Do you hear that, prayer? Okay, verse 8 now.
And I heard Daniel speaking, but I understood not. Then said I, O my Lord, what shall be the end of these things? And he said, Go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed till when? The time of the end. Amen, brother. There you go again. This is the fourth time. And we have angel. An angel using the phrase time of the end. So you just say time of the end. Say it. Time of the end. You've just followed what an angel did. So you got it from an angel. So sometimes we do what we call historical research. And in our historical research, we try to find out the source of words, the source of phrases. And usually in theology we call it source criticism. Where you're doing search, and you're trying to find out the source. Well, what is the source of the word, the phrase, time of the end? Angels. Is that not lovely? Yeah. So when you say time of the end, the source of that is angels. Yes. So that is not in human language. It is in human thoughts. But it came from who? Angels. Is that lovely, my dear brethren? And this is so important for all of us because there's a reason why they gave us the phrase time of the end. It's very important for us. Now, the time of the end, if you just look at the phrase, what? Time of the end. It doesn't just speak about one thing. It is speaking about a particular time. Is that not so? Yes. But a particular time called the end, like you call it end times. So when you hear end times, you mean the time of the end. Now let me give you, just for those who want a little more scholarly approach at it, one of the world's best theological dictionaries, William D. Muntz. Muntz's Complete Expository Dictionary of Old and New Testament Words, page 731. Here is what you see of the word time. The Hebrew word et is the word translated time. And of course, the Greek word is aeon. And you also have chronos. But we are looking at the Hebrew here since we're dealing with Daniel, okay? Et, I quote. Et can also designate events that occur in a general framework of time. So it can refer to events that occur in a what? General framework of time. Et may also designate general periods of time. Did you get that what? General periods of time characterized by a common element. So a period of time. And what is the common element? End. So it's a period of time that deals with the word end. In other words, you say wrapping up time. In other words, you don't have a set of events, and these events is what brings about the end. So you then coin a phrase, time of the end, and say, well, these events take place in the time of the end or in end times. Do you get that, my dear brethren? And there's a reason why the angel gave us this phrase. So this book clearly tells us that. Right? Yes.
What was the book you got that from, you said?
The name of the book is William D. Muntz, M-O-U-N-C-E. Muntz's Complete Expository Dictionary of Old and New Testament Words, and I quote in page 731. You will get it from Christian Literature Crusade, that bookstore, and Abercrombie Street, they sell it, okay? Alright, so, good. So, in a summary then, time of the end, a period or a span of time, an end event that causes the end of the world occurred therein. So when you see us speaking about the time of the end, we're dealing with the end of the world issues. Is that understood? We're dealing with what? End of the world issues. Now watch me. Listen to me again. Listen very carefully. The time of the end, that phrase, and what it means, was literally appointed by God. Listen to me again. The phrase time of the end and what it means was literally appointed by God. It's not a theologian investigated and came up with some idea and invented. It was literally appointed by whom? God. Let us see this again. Daniel chapter 8. Daniel chapter 8. Amen, amen. Amen, amen. Now watch this. Observe. Observe. The phrase you're going to read here means the time of the end. Proof of it, you will see the same phrase used in another place with the phrase time of the end. So let's look and read now. Again, 8:19. First of all, and he said, behold, I will make thee know what shall be in the last end of the indignation. For at the time appointed, the end shall be. Did you see that? So God speaks about the last end of the indignation. Indignation is his holy wrath. So he said his holy wrath lasts for a period of time. And the last end of that happens in the end. Did you get that? But he says the end is for a time appointed. He is going to appoint that the end. Now that is the same as saying appointing the time of the end. Proof of it. Daniel 11. 27 and 35. 27 and 35. 27. We read. And both these kings, church and government and state, or church and government, and both these kings' hearts shall be to do mischief, well, in the papacy and government. And they shall speak lies at one table, but it shall not prosper. For yet the end shall be at what? The time appointed. So again, there's a time appointed. There's a season for the end. Now look at verse 5, which explains this. And some of them of understanding shall fall, to try them, and to purge, and to make them white, even to the what? Time of the end. Because it is yet what? For a time appointed. So who appointed the time of the end? God. Did you see that? But there's a reason why he wants you and I to know why he appointed the time of the end. Because those who live in that period will have to deal a lot with it. And will have to say, well, this is the time of the end, and tell your neighbor, tell your friend, tell the world. When you see a government is practicing genocide by vaccination, and you know, this is pestilence, this is supposed to happen only in the period called the what? Time of the end. Then you will say, ah, you see that? We're living in the what? Time of the end. And that means the end is soon. Amen? Yes, my dear. Yes.
Matthew 24 and verse 40. Right? To show that we are in the time of the end, and what we have to do is preach the gospel, right? Which is the first, second, and third angel messages, right? Matthew 24 verse 40. I'll read. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
Amen. Amen. Then shall the what? End come. See? Beautiful. So then when Christ says that, you will know there must be a global preaching before the time of the end comes, says end. So there must be a global preaching within the period called what? The time of the end. Did the Bible give us the messages? Yes, it did. Now, next chapter. Now, this chart shows you that the Bible tells you the time of the end comes after this phrase, time, times, and half a time. That's what the Bible shows you. So you want to say, well, when does this time of the end begin? It can only begin after what? Time, what? Times and what? Half a time. Did you get that? So once you know when the time, times, and half a time end, When you know where it ends, then you know where the time of the end begins. What do you say? Amen? And then you'll know how long you have been in the time of the end. Sometimes I come along, some skeptics, I meet some of them, sometimes I'm walking about the streets of going like this. You're always talking about time of the end. You know how long I hear that? One journalist was telling me, we have heard that for quite a long while. I said, you are not even 100 years old. And that was the decree since 1798. He watched me shocked. So I said, if you're hearing it for such a long time, thank God he's faithful that you're hearing it. Because since 1798 it should have been said. Amen, brethren? Amen? Right, so now, we are told that the time of the end, in which certain wonders end, begins at the end of the times and a half time. Alright? So let's look at Daniel chapter 12, 4 to 7. Let's see where the time of the end fits in. Daniel chapter 12, 4 to 7. Let's see where the time of the end fits in. We read. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the what? Time of the end. Many shall run what? To and fro, and what? Knowledge shall increase. Already we see something that will take place within the time of the end. Within the period called the time of the end, there will be an explosion of knowledge, spiritual knowledge, when they run to and fro in the scriptures. Amen? Right? It could only happen after the time of the end. Because at the end of the times and half a time, men will now be free to go through the Bible to and fro. So then knowledge will be able to what? Increase during the period called the what? Time of the end. That's what we've been told you. But let's go on. Then I, Daniel, looked, and behold, there stood other two, the one on this side of the bank of the river, and the other on this side of the bank of the river. And one said to the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, how long shall it be to the end of these wonders? So certain wonders were shown to Daniel before. And they told him, how long shall it be to the end of these wonders? Question is being answered, it's a time question, right? How long shall it be what? To the end of these wonders. Let's see the answer. To the end of these wonders. And I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, when he had lifted up his right hand and his left hand unto heaven, and swear by him that liveth what? Forever, that it shall be what? For a time, what else? Time, what else? And a half, when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished. So we know one thing for sure. Somebody is scattering the power of the holy people, the papacy. And a lot of wonders are shown to Daniel of the papacy scattering the power of the holy people. So Daniel asked, how long to the end of these wonders? And he is told that he'll have to wait until what? A time, what else? Time what? And half a time, when he shall have accomplished scattering the power of the holy people, all these things should be finished. So all those things should be finished within the period called the what? Time of the end. Amen? All those things supposed to be finished within the period called the what? Time of the end. After the what? Time what? Time and what? Half a time when the papacy is accomplished, scattering the power of the holy people. So the papacy is allowed to scatter the power of the holy people for what? A time, what else? Time and what else? Half a time. And when that is finished and the scatter the power of the holy people, all those things will take place where? Will be finished where? In the time of the end. Amen, brethren? So to know when the time of the end starts, it starts at the end of the times and a half a time. Do you get that clear right there, brethren? Do you get that clear? Next shot. This chart is beautiful. It is explicit. It is explanatory by itself. It is a chart they should always keep. Because this chart shows you, what? Time, what else? Time is 2. Amen? And what else? Half a time. So times 1, times 2 times, then what? Half a time, half. So that will be what? 1 year, what else? 2 years, and what else? Half a year. Did you see that, my dear brethren? That's how it's supposed to be. Because a time is equal a year. So you have time times half a time equal 1 year, 2 years, a half a year. Did you see that, my dear brethren? Amen. So 1 year, 2 years, half a year equals what? 3.5 years. That's right. 3.5 what? Years. And this is to let you understand that when they say years, it is a 360 days Jewish years we're talking about. So each year must have how much days? 360 days. That's right. Yes, brother.
Yeah, I was doing some of the calculation, but let's try to understand, like how you know our time is like. I was doing some calculation, but I didn't get the idea of what time is like.
We have to speak about the times of our years.
Times of our years.
That's right. So it uses the word times to mean what? Years. In different scriptures. I didn't do this because I wasn't going into those aspects of it. I just did that general, because if I were to do that, you wouldn't get anywhere in study right now.
Times in our years.
Yeah, times of our years. You just look it up and you will see the times of our years in Psalms.
Right, Psalms.
Right, okay, so time, right, and besides that you will see the Bible explain how the word times and years is used interchangeably. The Bible uses it interchangeably. We are coming to that also in a set of scriptures. Right, we will show you. Right, so what? So 1 year, 2 years, half a year equals 3.5 what? Years. But each year is supposed to be 361 days. So you know what? 360 days Jewish years. Okay? So the years will be 42 months. 3.5 years will equal what? 42 months. But 30 days of each of these months. Are you listening to me? Yes. So 3.5 years is actually how much? 42 months. But 30 days is in each of those months. Do you get that, my dear brethren? Right? And those 42 months with 30 days equals 1,260 days. Did you see that there, my dear brethren? So if you want to know how much days within the 42 months, 1,260 days. And in the Bible, a day equals to a year in Bible prophecy. So 1,260 days will be equal to what? 1,260 years. And this is the period of paper reign. Did you get that? So we want to look at that in scriptures now. Want to look at this in scriptures. Okay? You got it right, my dear brethren? So we start off with Daniel chapter 7. 24 to 26. Daniel chapter 7. 24 to 26. You will see that the word time, times and a half, the word time, times and a half is given by God to the papal power to have what we call obscuring dominion over the faith of Jesus Christ. Alright? This is what you will observe. In the Bible it shows that time, times and a half is given by the papal power to have obscuring dominion over the faith of Jesus Christ. The dominion it has over the faith of Jesus Christ is obscure the faith, which would mean to say it would pervert it with all kind of false knowledge. That is the time given to the papacy. And that is the reason why every one of you all here must understand that that Roman Catholic Church only had a period of time to obscure the gospel. That time has passed, you have no right to be in ignorance.
Amen. Amen.
You see, all that God explained already. You see, people are not familiar with that. They're more familiar with Jay-Z or some kind of folly. But when you ask them about the important things like this, you see a Catholic priest and you see the Pope going all over the place and he's perverting judgment, you need to understand that God gave them a time, times, and a half to obscure the truth. So once that time passed, then the truth must come back fully. What do you say? People must be able to run what? To and fro, and then knowledge must be what? Increase. You see how you understand it? You see how it's easy to understand? All that for us. But you see, a spiritual rationale need to develop. The spiritual reasoning need to what? Develop. But it can only be developed if you spend time with your Bible. But many of us have too much petty common prejudices. Let me repeat that. Petty common prejudices which take our mind off eternal interests. You imagine 10 evil angels gathered together and deciding how to destroy this country. And God is deciding that He's going to send holy angels to stop it. There are keys to find out what's going on, but you studied fight with your neighbor. You studied something common and petty with somebody. And that is taking your mind off the higher eternal interest. So your mind becomes earthly of the earth, when it can be heavenly of heaven. And you see, this is what human beings need to do. Your spiritual rational. What did I just say? Spiritual rational. That is reasoning spiritually needs to develop. And that's what truth does. When the spiritual reasoning develops, we get more light, more understanding, and you are capable to say no to temptation. What do you say? And fight against it. What do you say? And that's the reason why you need the spiritual reasoning to do what? Develop from scripture. That's why the Bible is written how it is written. Not because God deliberately made it hard for us, because it's deliberately made in such a way for our spiritual rationale to develop. Amen? Yes.
So then, according to when a spiritual rationale is developed, then you'll be able to stand firm against the influence of evil angels.
Amen. 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 You'll be able to stand against the influence of evil angels. They are very tricky, and they try to involve us in silly things to destroy us, and then they laugh at us. All of us, they laugh at us. You ever see some bad people having a party, ridiculing people? Evil angels always have a party over us and ridicule us, especially when they cause us to fall. They like to cause us harm. They like to cause us to be in trouble. Why? Because they hate us. You know, there are some people like to hate. Evil angels love to hate. And they hate us all. They have the worst thing to say about us. They have every common wrong to say about every part of us. And they like to ridicule us. And they like to rejoice and have party over our failures. This is the reason why you mustn't give them that occasion. What do you say? Because when you figure you're doing something in secret to gratify your feelings, they're laughing and they're rejoicing. Say, look at the fool. And that is a 2 and 3. They have a higher faith. Look at the fool. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them bring you down. Don't let them make that happen to you. Amen? And sometimes they pass. Evil angels have bad thoughts and bad experiences. And they sometimes come close to you like a partner, somebody right next to you like a friend. And the evil influence from their being emanates and affects your mind. So sometimes you know, how am I thinking this? I wasn't thinking this. And as they come close to it, get you to think, they usually try to make you rush and do impulsive thing, and then they wake up and say, my God, what did I do? You understand? And that is the reason why you need to keep your mind on the truth. What do you say? Amen. Just as how evil people just run from you when you have the truth, You don't want to be around you. It's so evil, you just don't want to be around you. Amen, brother? But then don't let them be around you. What do you think? Amen? Alright, so let's get back now. So let's see the time that was given to the papacy to obscure the gospel. Daniel 7, 24 to 26. Read. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom, and 10 kings that shall arise. That's 10 European nations. They were called Barbarians at that time. And another shall arise after them. That is the papacy. And he shall be diverse from the first, from the 10 horns, a different kind of power altogether. And he shall subdue 3 kings, destroy 3 of the barbarian nations. He had to do that to gain influence. Had he not done that, he wasn't going to get his influence. He had to destroy them. Because those powers were called Arians. They believed what the watchtowers believe today, that Jesus Christ is a God. And then the other churches believed that Jesus Christ was God. So those who believed that Jesus Christ was a God were very wicked. They used to rob, rape, and kill. They were like Muslims today. They used to rob, rape, and kill. They go into Alexandria, the city in Egypt. And imagine, as bad as Egypt was, God didn't send any apostles here. He sent the apostles quite Russia, quite India, but he never sent an apostle in Egypt. And there were reasons why. But as bad as Egypt was, they had a thriving Christian community there. One of the biggest temples where people used to worship, and a lot of people used to come from all over the world to Alexandria to worship. The Christians there mash it up. What did they do? All the pagan priests and them having relations with women in the temple as some divine act. People bringing food for them there as if they're supposed to be living like gods. And they had people bowing up to that there. The Christians used to tell people that is a big idol full of rats. People used to say, you're joking. They say, no, they say only rats in that thing. Bad business. So one day, thousands gathered to worship, and somebody was able to cut it down. They get the Roman emperor to say he wanted cut down. And when the Roman emperor get them to cut it down, thousands and thousands and thousands of rats run out. And that caused all those people there to say, no longer going after idols, because we're going to follow who? Jesus Christ. Amen? Thousands of rats. And that place was still. Rat, everything from rat there. So you see? So it so happened that Egypt itself was a kind of Christian community. And when those people who claimed that Jesus Christ was a God came here, they robbed, they raped, they killed, they would take their young daughters, the young boys, they would do what they want to do in the name of God. In the name of a God, sorry. And it was very, very destructive. And the people cry out to Justinian, save us. This is an army. And these people were so bad, the name of that race of Europeans were called Vandals. And they were so bad, from them we have the word vandalism. Can you imagine that? Man, I tell you, when Belisarius' army run into those Vandals, you know the Vandals are violent, wild, untamed. When you see, let me just tell you this by the way, this is for your and us, our development. When you have violent, wild, uncontrolled people, and you're strong but disciplined, you always overcome them. Yes. You know, to deal with those people, you have to be strong and disciplined. You see some wild Muslim feelings, the baddest thing under the sun. When you see you strong and fearless, but you're disciplined, you're always back home. They see that as superior to them. And that's how you must let Jesus Christ make you. Don't be afraid, but be strong and be disciplined. Amen, brethren? Be disciplined. Now watch this. Let's read. So 3 that was plucked up, one of them was the Vandals. Totally wiped out. I tell you, so wiped out. When they started getting licked, so they run to the desert. You think Belisarius' army leaves them? They chase them in the desert. Pull them to jump in boats and go. They take down all the boats. When they finished the war, not one was left alive. Not how much? One was left alive. That was the tree that was plucked up by Moses. That's one of the trees. And there are two more. The Asherah and the Hurrai. All of them. Bad people. Corrupt people. All in the name of a God. You see? So the Watchtower is doing that, and they're very, very ethical to you and I now. You know? One of them talked to me and tell me something. So I showed him the truth. He rejected. And then telling me have a nice day. I said, no, you don't get to say the last nice statement. You understand? You learn to have a spiritual day. Amen? But you want to have a nice day and send me off and still see the nice in a rebellion and your bad behavior. So I have to put the last thing to tell you, you learn to have a spiritual day. I can't tell you to have a spiritual day until you're spiritual. But you can learn. What do you see? Right, so 7:24. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be different from the first 10 horns. And he shall subdue 3 kings. He shall speak great words against the Most High, and wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. You see how much bad things the papacy does? And they, that is the saints, shall be given into his hand until a what? Time, what else? And times, and what else? And dividing of time. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his what? Dominion, to consume and to what? Destroy unto the end. So we know some big judgment is to take place after the times, and half a time. Amen? Amen? Some big judgment is to take place. And that judgment is important, because that judgment will cause the papacy to lose his dominion over the gospel completely. All that takes place in the time of the year designated by God. Amen? So if you are a true faith, the true faith cannot be before 1798. If it is to be in the last days. It has to be after what? 1798. That's why Adventism started in 1844. What do you think? 46 years after 1798. Is that what understood? Amen, brethren? Now, watch this again, right? So, this one here clearly shows us that the times and half a time was given by the papacy to do all his wickedness that he did at that time. Now, go to Revelation 12. We will look at verse 6 and then verse 14. Oh, just before that, go to Revelation 11. And look at verse 3. 11 verse 3. Is it found? Right, verse 3 tells us. And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, the first and second witnesses, the Old and the New Testament. And they shall prophesy how much? 8,000, how much? 200 and what else? 60 days, closing in what? Sackcloth. Now what does this mean? That for 1,260 days, the Old and the New Testament couldn't be freely proclaimed. It was proclaimed in sackcloth. In other words, the preaching was covered because people didn't have access to the Bible as they should have had. But after 1790, you could have 15 Bibles. And we have 100 in my house. All different kinds of all over. Greek, Hebrew. I even have an Arabic Bible at home. Right? So when they come, I pull my Arabic Bible and deal with some of those Muslims. Right? So I even have that at home. So you see, for years, 1,260 years or days, the Bible was to be preached clothed in sackcloth, in a covered way, covered. Because it would mean to say that the Bible wasn't a free book in those days. Okay? It was banned. The Catholic Church drew up something called an index of banned books. The first that I did it was the Bible. And now they want to play the ethical thing. They banned the word of God, right? So here we have the same number. 1,203 score. A score is 20. 3 score is 60 days. You see it there, right? So we don't want different shows. Time, half a time, same day as days. Proof of it again. Let's go. Go to chapter 12. 6 and then 14. 12 and verse 6. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared of God, that she would feed that they would feed her there, how long? 8,000, go ahead, 200 a month. So this is telling us a large amount of the church had to exist in the wilderness. They could not be in the cities. So when you look at the cities of Europe and you see Catholic Church doing all the corruption and so on, that wasn't the true church. They had to go in the wilderness at that time to find the true church. They found them way up in the Alpine mountains where they were disciplined. A little child 10 years old could recite out of a mind half the Bible. That's how they were. They were very industrious and energetic people. They were called the Waldenses, people of the valley, the Vaudou Valley. So you must remember that God sent the church here to be nourished. But they would have people in the cities that will hear the truth, accept it, and die. But the real church will be hiding out there. Anytime somebody in the city learned the truth, somebody from the hideout came down, sell pots, sell pans, sell the wares, and preach scripture one time. And then they flee back and go way back up in the wilderness. When the armies come to find them, they don't know where to go. And nobody is going to climb all of those mountains to kill a few people. Because all of the way they died. You ever see a picture of Mount Everest? I don't know, I don't know why people like to climb Mount Everest. When you're climbing Mount Everest, every step of the way, you're seeing dead frozen bodies. Right going to the top. Dead husband, dead by thousands. People who died there since 18-something. Because no government will not pay nobody to clean up that mountain. To go up to take up a dead body and you never come back down. You're going to go up to dig a body out of ice for hours, all kind of business come and kill and then bring down the body. So that's why when you're going there, dead bodies for so all the way up. So likewise, those Alps mountains, it took a lot of lives. So people wasn't going up there to hunt the church. Now and then they would get into a band of soldiers and they would be specially paid. And they would be given documents. Any woman you make, you could rape, look your pattern here. Any property you meet you could take, look your pattern here. Anybody you want you could kill, look your pattern here, and they get it from the poor. And about 6,000 of them will take their way and go up, and they might find a Christian community and they will murder them all. At one point in time, they pushed thousands of them off a cliff. Thousands of them off a cliff. That's the issue of the Catholic Church we were talking about. So don't be fooled with them. They only act like a lamb when they're in minority. But when they come back, the majority, they're going to kill and kill and kill again. They will make terrorists look like saints.
I'll tell them, what I'll tell them people, I reach out, when I see them resurrected, I'll say come back election. I'll help out for the rest of them.
You might be one of them with borders in your garments. Okay, verse 14. 12 and verse 14. It says here is the same thing that you just read. The woman fled into the wilderness to be nourished 1,203 days. Here is the same thing repeated, but look at the times that are used here. Look at the checking that is used here in verse 14. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly where? Into the wilderness, into what? The place where she is what? Nourished for what? A time, what else? And times and what else? Half a time from the face of the serpent. So that way God is meant for you and I to time times half a time with 1,260 days. Oh yes, is that understood? So look at this used interchangeably. Did you see that? So one way telling the woman fled into the wilderness for 1,260 days. Another place telling you with the wings of an eagle, she flies into the wilderness times and half a time. Same thing. You see that, right? Now go to chapter 13. Verse 5. It says here, and there was given unto him, that is the papacy, a mouth speaking great things and what? Blasphemies. And power was given unto him to continue how long? 42 months. That's right, 42 months. So watch. 1 year has how much? 12 months. 3 years will give us how much? 36 months. Half of a year is how much? 6 months. So add 36 to 6. And what will you get? 42. That's right. So you see they all match, right? You see that, right? And remember the scripture says, it is appointed unto thee a day for a year. Alright, so now I don't want to go in much into those things because that will be a study by itself. But basically, here is what you just saw. What? The time, times, and half a time equals 1 year, 2 years, half a year. It's 3.5 years. It is equal 42 months. And that 42 months is 1,260 days. And a day equals a year will give us 1,260 years. But you must also understand that the years is 360-day Jewish years. Not 361 or 362. But 360 days. And you have to understand the 42 months, each month has how much days? 30 days in it according to the Jews. That way you get everything straight. Amen, brother? Amen? Right. So next shot.
Yeah, make sure you know government try to get support the Bible this.
Amen. So the time of the end, right? So the time of the end begins at the end of the first papal reign. Right? And that same time of the end comes to its end at the second coming of Jesus Christ. Because when Jesus Christ comes, that's the end. It's finished. No more time of the end. That's finished. Amen, brother? Remember the time, times, and half a time? And that's when the time of the end begins. And the time, times, and half a time is the period of time the papacy was given to reign. So at the end of the first papal reign, it's going to have a next one within the time of the end, but for a short while. At the end of the first papal reign, that's when the time of the end begins. And it ends with the second coming of Jesus Christ. Is that understood, my dear brother? Do you get that clear? Right. Next scripture. Next chapter. Right. Let's just look at this chart. I call this a chart premiere. You know why I call this a chart premiere? Because this chart is explicit. Let me give you a little picture of it. Amen? Wonderful chart. If you observe, the date here 538 ACB, after Christ's birth. That's what we use. We don't say BC or AD. We say BCB or what? ACB. We say that for clarity's sake. Right? BCB before what? Christ's birth. ACB what? After Christ's birth. That's how we have it. We don't say AD, Anno Domini, in the year of the Lord. We have been in the year of the Lord since Adam and Eve. Not only after Christ rose. Nonsense, Letitia. That gives the idea that Christ only became Christ or something so after he rose. That's false doctrine. So that date reflects false doctrine. But we say after Christ's birth. Amen, brother? Amen. Right, so if you observe, ACB 538, 3 horns on nations plucked up by the same papacy there. You see that? And so once those 3 nations were stopping the papacy from doing what he wanted to do, they had to be destroyed. So those 3 horns were plucked up by the root of it, according to Daniel. And then the papacy would start to practice Justinian's dominion decree. This is Emperor Justinian, an actual drawing of it. If you want to say, what did he look like? That's what he looked like. That was Justinian. Young. That's an actual drawing of him from way back then. There you have it. He made a decree, Emperor of Rome. He made a decree. And the decree gave the papacy kind of a dominion over the churches. But by giving them dominion over civil law. So by law, the papacy has dominion over the what? Churches. It's a legal thing. Justinian did that.
I want to say, brother, and they were given into his hands. This is showing us who gave the saints into the hand
of the papacy.
So
3 nations were plucked up. The last one was in 538. Right? Remember, the Vandals went first, totally destroyed. The Ostrogoths, the word Ostro means west. So the Ostrogoths, the Western Goths. So that is a Gothic race from the west. They were very violent. They were very vindictive. In those days, common sinful traits will find itself manifested in a whole nation. Alright? We have it more or less today, but since nations are a mixture of different races, we don't have it so much. But in those days, if you want to see vindictive people, look at the Ostrogoths. The trait was vindictiveness. So you find vindictive people won't want to believe Jesus is born. So Jesus was, I'm born today. Just like everybody else. They were vindictive people. And so the Ostrogoths were one of the most dangerous. They were wiped out. Then you had the Heruli. The Heruli were cruel people. Right? They were very religious, but very cruel. They would take a whole population and kill the population to defend themselves. So let us say they meet a city, and the city have 45,000 people. They will surround it and they will kill everybody in the name of Jesus, a God. So those are the people that were given trouble. The papacy couldn't take control over men's consciences as long as those rebellious races were there. So the Heruli was the last one, and they were in the city of Rome, ruling. But Belisarius was a very, very strong general. And they could be in Rome, they could be in the mountain, they could be in the desert. The person knew for sure. In those days, they had a huge statue of him in the east because he was a great person. They built up a whole church and they put Belisarius' statue in front of it. You understand? And then the emperor started, the same Justinian started to be fearful. Why? The man so powerful he could fight civil and go and throw for me. That's how they marginalize him. Right? But you must remember, the decree made by Justinian and his general helped that decree to pass because he removed the powers that were stopping the decree from being practiced. So by 538 AD, the last of the 3 horns was plucked up. Then the papacy began to start to practice Justinian's dominion decree. And from that time, you had 1,260 years, look at the 1260. You see it? Times and half a time, 42 months, spiritually speaking, 1,250 days or years. For 1,260 years, they had papal communion practice. Until 1798, when General Bossier, and poor guy, you see, whenever you serve the Illuminati, they never ever just reward you good enough. After he served the Illuminati and he overthrew the Pope, they push him out of a window. Push Bossier out of a window. Crush him on the ground.
Somebody came here last week to me that they sent this man from Jamaica. Who's the man here?
Bossier?
Yeah.
No, not for you.
Man from Kuchina.
But Bossier, watch. But Bossier actually came from a part of France where he was a powerful man. Napoleon told him, you go into Rome and take down the Pope. So this is a drawing that was drawn of the events at that time. You had Bossier there. He's supposed to be a Calvinist in his religion. He has given a paper to the Pope here, Pius VI, Pius again, and he's telling Pius, you're under arrest. You see? The other cardinals, they're in shock. What? He comes in and says that they have the other men there with their weapon. And they're hitting the weapon so to make sure they get terrorized, you understand? They planned all kind of things, you know? Rushing back and so on. And telling them, you are under arrest. You see this? There's an actual joy, you know, in those days, people will see the event, you know, memorize the event, and then they'll join it on, and that will spread as news all over the place. But here you actually have a news clip from that time, in picture, where you actually actually get the Pope Pius VI that papacy overthrown by Francis General Garcia 798 AD. Did you see that? And they still in time came in to push him out of a window. They find knew too much, quote and unquote. Throw him out of the window and kill him. A third-story house. Right? After he began to say, but wait now, who am I serving? Rothschild, Illuminati, stuff and stuff. Somebody coming as he was by the window, they push him out. Fell down 3 stories and died. But that time had passed. After he had already overthrown the papacy. So this year you have what? 1,260 days or years ending there in there.
1790.
So that you know the time of the end will begin from
1798.
That's right. You got that, my dear brethren? Okay. You got that? Right, so next chart. Right. So then this chart is clear. The papacy was temporarily overthrown in 1798. The time of the end therefore began from when? 1798. And it will end at what? Second coming of Jesus Christ. But during that time of the end, certain end time events are to. Do you get that clear? Do you get that clear? Do you get it simple? Right, so I can point out anybody in the audience. And I can say an end time event. And I can ask them, during what period it's supposed to occur? And you can tell me. Don't try and hide your face. Right? Okay? So, Sister Lavelle, a Sunday law, is it to happen before 1798 or after Jesus comes? When? A Sunday law.
Before 1798 or after?
Yes.
But it can't happen in any
I'm not hearing you.
It can't happen in any of those periods before 1798, sir.
So?
It has to happen between 1798 and the second coming.
Amen. Is that simple? You get it? That's simple. That's simple. Don't be afraid. Think now. So, communism overthrowing religion. All false religion. Will it happen before 1798 or after Christ comes? Sister, you can have a mention here. Yes. Communism overthrowing false religion. Will it happen before 1798 or after Jesus comes?
Before the second coming and after the 1798.
Before the second coming and after 1798. So it will happen when? You see, that's how easy it is. You know what we have actually done here? We've made Bible prophecy easy that you can fit it into anywhere. So if you see a tornado spinning and plenty people dying, and you say storms, where does it fit in? That's why Jesus said, sign of my coming. Did you see it? You actually have a place where you can fit in. Look how simple this is. Using this chart, a child can do it. And this is why you are being encouraged to learn this. What do you say? We in this church have a privilege. Not anybody, yourself. Stand up. Yeah, yourself. It's so short that you can hardly see it. It's like if you're sitting still. You stand up. And you have a big voice. Because I hear you. Right? So, watch me. You see, ISIS used to properly shooting and killing people. ISIS. I always say them, they shoot them with machine gun and bam, they're blowing up. Going in school and grabbing little children like you. Is that happening before 1798 or after Jesus comes? What we were eating? What did he say? I didn't hear you. It's happening. It's happening when? That's right, it's happening after 1798 and before Christ comes, right? You see her? See, you're not trying to do it. What if I put you want me to ask you? Aha. A person take one bomb, and when the bomb drop, watch me, from here to quite past Patchy Street. One bomb from here to Port Street, it could blow that whole area. And this could kill thousands of people. By the way, I have a picture here, you will actually see one explode. Will it happen before 1798 or after Jesus comes? I didn't hear you. In between, which is called what? I didn't hear you. The time of the end. That's what you know. I'm asking you one more. So somebody take an airplane, watch me, and they decide to run the airplane into a building. Knowing that when this fuel hit and it explode, it will kill plenty of people in the building. Did that happen before 1798 or after Jesus came? What did she say? She said in the end times you're smart. In the end times. Which is called what? Watch me, you. Which is called what? Time of year. Yes, you're right. Good. So, let me ask one more. Brother there with the hand on the chin. Yes, you. Let me ask you one. You see, this is called your what? The time of year. Have we had problems with terrorism before 1798 or after Jesus comes? Tell us, what? When do we have this problem? Not there.
Between the time people see temporarily overthrown and second coming of us.
Amen. What is called what? The time of the end. That's right. So certain end time events at work occur. That's right. You got it? It's so simple it is, right? Amen, brother? Right. So I can't give you much here now, but I will give you a few. Knowledge is to be increased after 1798, right? Remember we read that, right? You understand? The books are sealed until the what? Time of the end. Many shall run what? To and fro, and knowledge shall be what? Increased. Next shot. Present teaching knowledge. That's right. Right, so in the time of the end, prophetic knowledge is to increase. All kinds. All kinds. Prophetic knowledge, prophetic progressive physical, history, prophetic reciprocal, history. All types of knowledge is to increase when they run to and fro in the Bible. Amen, brethren? The Bible also tells us that justification by faith, which was lost, will be recovered again after 1798. And it tells us sinfulness will arise again after 1798. So when was justification by faith rediscovered after 1790? You don't get into the time of what? Of Luther. When was it rediscovered? 1888, with the preaching of Jones and Wagner. And that time sinfulness came to life. Amen? Yes. Let's look at the Daniel 11. Just as a brief account for this one. Daniel 11. '34 and 35. It says here, now when they shall fall, that is the Waldensian Christians, they shall be opened with a little help. In the Bible, the word help is used to mean justification. Okay, so when we open with a little help or help with a little help, that is the help in the doctrine of what? Justification. Alright? But many shall cleave to them with flatteries. Now flatteries is the false justification, where you are told you are righteous, but you are really not. So many cleave to the Reformation with what? The false justification doctrine. Did you see that, my dear brethren? It goes on. And some of them of understanding, great men that understood the truth, like Melanchthon and others, shall fall to try them, and to what? Purge, and to what? Make them right. Even to the what? Time of the end. So it will happen even to this time it will happen. It starts before, but it happens even to this time, the time of the end. It doesn't end at the time of the end, but it happens even to the what? Time of the end. And what does it tell us? Because it is yet what? For a time of according to it. So make them white is sinfulness. So in the time of the end now, justification by faith rediscovered, sinfulness also arises. First time that was taught is after 1798 in its clearest sense. Is that understood, my dear brethren? The cleansing of the sanctuary. Yes, my dear.
Some people now understand it for try others now.
They've been happening that has been happening in the Adventist Church since 1844. Many of them have understanding. You understand it has been happening. You have big trouble with Desmond Ford, Brins Mead, and a whole host of others. Don't tempt me. I don't want to jump too far. Watch. So the cleansing of the heavenly sanctuary began in 1844, right? Until 2300 days, then shall the sanctuary be? Yes. And we're told at the time of the end shall be that vision. So it starts at the time of the end in 1844. Okay, brother, the cleansing of the sanctuary. So the heavenly sanctuary, the seventh-day Sabbath, all we discovered after the time of the end already starts. Where the Bible clearly explains this. Remember? And the temple of God was opened in heaven. And they were seeing in his temple the ark of the what? Testimony. Testimony is the law. The ark in which the law was. So with the opening of the second apartment, you see the ark with the law. All that happens after 1790, 48 years after 1790, 1844, and the Sabbath was rediscovered in the Adventist Church more by the time of 1848. Okay, my dear brethren? So all these things, judgment, cleansing, and so on, is to take place within the period of the time of the end. Do you see important things? These important things will bring about the end. That's why they all happen during the what? time of the end. Is that understood? Before the end comes, we must understand about the Sabbath. It was discovered in the period called the time of the end. So those events are important because they are end time events. Amen? Amen, brethren? But another important point in next chart. Next chart. Watch this one. Beautiful chart. The word king of the south we know in the Bible is the Illuminati. We studied that before. We can't go into details now. That way we'll have to discuss that by itself. But we studied that before. So during the time of the end, we told, at the time of the end shall the king of the south push against him. In Daniel 11:40. The king of the south is the what? Illuminati. He starts his push where? In 1798. The king of the south pushes. It pushes, right, against all religion. So you have the king of the south pushing, which is the Illuminati. In Revelation chapter 11, we are told that is the second war. The Bible tells us 3 wars strike the earth. The first war was Islam. There's still a war now. Right? But that is a war that happened before 1798. And then we have a second war. That second war comes from after 1798. So the Bible called the Illuminati the second war. We are still in that second war right now. You know one of the things they did recently? One of the things they did recently in Canada, where they can take your children from you. They are passing all kind of laws, and it is the Illuminati behind it. But so the Illuminati will exist and end at the second coming of Christ, where everybody will be what? Destroyed. Is that understood? So the time of the end is when the king of the south or the Illuminati started. You didn't have an Illuminati before. Is that understood? But here is what I wanted to show you. Next chart. Watch this. Time of the end. After 1798, the glorious Holy Mountain. What is the glorious Holy Mountain? In Bible prophecy, that is the Seventh-day Adventist Church. We are told it is to be subverted by the papacy. I want to read the scripture. I want to show what is the Holy Mountain. Okay? And I want to give you a video clip showing the papacy subverting the Adventist Church. Actual video clip. Alright? So during the time of the Adventist Church is to be subverted. That's why we exist. So it says the glorious Holy Mountain between the seas. In the glorious Holy Mountain. Let's look at Daniel chapter 11. And verse 45. Okay? Now, when you read verse 40 shows the king of this world push against the papacy, but the papacy strike back. Now the papacy will strike back with the Sunday law. But that same papacy that is going to be striking back is also when they subvert the Adventist Church. Let's read it. Verse 45. And he, that is the king of the north or the papacy, shall plant the tabernacles of his palace. You know what this is? Yeah. Tabernacles of his palace. Tabernacle is supposed to be a religious thing, and then you have palace. So you know it's a ruling religion, okay? A tabernacle, palace, a ruling religion. Okay? So it goes on. And he shall plant the tabernacles of his palace between the seas. Where? In the glorious holy mountain. Yet he shall come to his end, and none shall help him. So what? Between the seas. Mediterranean Sea, the Red Sea. Between the seas, in the glorious holy mountain, is right here in Israel. But that is speaking about it spiritually, not what? Physical. So let us see what is called glorious holy mountain in the Bible. Psalms 48, 1 and 2. Now I have a whole set here, right? Just give me one. Psalms 48, 1 and 2. Great is Yahweh, and greatly to be what? Praised. In the what? City of our God. In the mountain of His holiness. That is the church. Beautiful for situation. The joy of the what? Whole earth. Is what? Mount Zion in the what? Sides of the north. The city of the what? Great King. So that is spiritual, of course, not physical. And so we see the holy mountain is in fact Mount Zion, the church. Okay? So the glorious holy mountain that falls on the papal entry is the Church of God after 1798. The Church of God is the one that developed after the city sanctuary opened in heaven. And we discovered the Sabbath. So that will be the one. Seventh day Adventist Church. So the glorious holy mountain, the Seventh-day Adventist Church was subverted by the king of the north or the papacy because he planted the tabernacles of his palace there. It means to say that you must see the Adventist Church being subverted by the Catholic Church. Next, watch this video showing you this. In this video you will see two things. A priest preaching in the Adventist Church, and then you will see Adventist book, an Adventist book written justifying the papacy. Play with it.
I am a Catholic priest preaching at Auburn Adventist Church.
Yeah.
I would like to thank first and foremost the host for tonight, the Seventh-day Adventist Church here in Auburn, for our Wednesday Lenten services. Thank you for your warm welcome to all the Christians of different traditions here in the great city of Auburn, California. Like the love Jesus showed 2,000 years ago, offering oneself so that others will be happy. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you.
Could you imagine that? A Catholic priest preaching in the Adventist Church? Could you imagine Israel invite a priest of Baal to preach in the temple? That's what's happening. That is because the tabernacle of his what? Palaces are being planted where? In the glorious holy mountain. Now here they write in a magazine justifying the papacy. In amazement they hear the testimony that Babylon is a church formed because of her errors and sins, because of her rejection of the truth. A virtuous woman represents a pure church. A vile woman, an apostate church. Babylon is such. Right? Not by its name, but by its fruit is the value of a tree to be determined. If the fruit is worthless, then of course the tree is what? Worthless. Let's go on now. SDA Church defends the Antichrist.
Adventist Today magazine published an article entitled "Letting Roman Catholics Off the Hook." And it was written by some guy named, or woman, I don't know, I think it's a guy, Lauren Siebold. I think a woman has an A in there. So Siebold gives 7 reasons why Seventh-day Adventists should no longer trust Ellen White, the original pillars of their faith, or the scriptures themselves. Now, of course, he doesn't say it that way, but when you listen to what he says in this article, that's what's going on here. All right? I would like to share a point-by-point of this article to give an idea of just how bad it's gotten in the Seventh-day Adventist Church. The article starts off by saying, for over a century, even before the publication of the Great Controversy, we Adventists have regarded the Roman Catholic Church leadership, typified in the first beast of Revelation 13, as our arch nemesis, our bête noire, as they call it. I think that's French for black beast. or the enemy that takes the evil part of the apocalyptic scenario against God's remnant. Here are 7 reasons why it may be time to question them in that role. And by the way, Sister White did prophesy that the Seventh-day Adventist Church would do this, even though a lot of the Seventh-day Adventist people will say that no, she never did. But then again, that's because they don't read her writings; they only listen to their pastors. But she did predict that the Seventh-day Adventist people would go and join hands with Rome. So number 1, this is their first excuse, right? And it's right there in box number 1. It says, more than 100 years have passed since our prophet approved these prophetic applications. Ellen White expected Jesus to return long before this. We're not sure why that hasn't happened. Now, so continuing with the article, it says, but isn't it possible that some details of the apocalyptic scenario set out in the 1890s may have changed by the 2010s? It happened to Israel. Not all the original Old Testament prophecies about them and their role came to pass. We call it conditional prophecy. Well, they can call it whatever they like. What they hope to do in this statement from Adventists today is to generate just enough doubt in the hearts of their flock so as to keep them in the church. The timing is right here for such an article like this for Adventists today to do this. This also proves how Roman Catholicism, the Vatican itself, now owns the Seventh-day Adventist Church. This is a blatant Roman Catholic fruit, to say the least. That type of statement, theology, or mindset, that's Roman Catholicism. Okay, now here's excuse number 2. They say principles might be more diagnostic than players. That's their little headline for the question. And then they say that we oppose those who would legislate matters that should be left to an individual's conscience is a principle I value, and I'm proud of Seventh-day Adventist efforts to protect religious liberty. But if it should happen that someone other than the Roman Catholic Church begins to act like the beast of Revelation 13, we will be more ready to respond if we are watching for a violation of the principle than in waiting for one specific group to offend. Okay, here's reason number 3. It says, Ellen White fingered Catholicism in a very different world. Historians have shown that the 19th century American anti-Catholicism grew out of a general anti-immigration nativism in an era when we had and could again have a liberty-loving Roman Catholic president, when Catholic immigrants had become our young workforce. Why can't we preach the gospel without identifying Roman Catholicism as Satan's exclusive tool? Well, the reason we cannot stop preaching Catholicism, Roman Catholicism, to be Satan's exclusive tool is because Jesus Christ told us not to. Here's reason number 4. The Roman Catholic Church of today is a much different institution than it was during Ellen White's time. The Second Ecumenical Council of the Vatican II, which is in between 62 and 65, radically altered that denomination's theology and practices. Radically? The only reason I can assume they're sharing this is to make some think they have changed for the better. However, I was a teacher of Roman Catholic doctrine back in the 1980s, early 1980s. And I can tell you by personal experience that over 85% of Roman Catholic doctrine is not found in Scripture. Now, continuing with reason number 4, they say Vatican II declared the gospel central to church theology, made worship accessible, denied the Roman Catholics only can be saved, and encouraged lay Bible study and affirmed religious liberty. The Latin phrase extra ecclesiasm nulla salus means outside the church there is no salvation. This theology is very much a part of Roman Catholic dogma to this day. In fact, Pope Benedict XVI stated in writing on July 10th, 2007, if it's not Catholic, it's not really a church. That's word for word what he said. Obvious fact is, all of the Vatican's main websites have in-depth studies echoing and backing his theological statements on this topic. That being the case, is Adventist today doing any research at all? Are they pulling the stuff out of thin air or something? Or are they simply lying for the ecumenical purposes, hoping their readers won't check up on them? There is so much evidence to prove this to be a lie that I'm amazed there wasn't an uproar when it was published. Doesn't anyone remember all the media hype and the anger from the Protestants and the Muslims and other religions when the Pope made those statements back in 2007? It was on all the news stations globally. Anyway, continuing with reason number 4, Adventists today declares that Vatican II, while not quite a Protestant Reformation, today's Catholic Church is not the same Catholic Church referenced in our 19th century eschatological studies. Among other things, the Second Ecumenical Council weakened Vatican authority over world Catholics, as evidenced by the 78% of the American Catholics who oppose their church's ban on contraception. Reason number 5 that the Seventh-day Adventist Church says that the Seventh-day Adventists should have a big old group hug with the Catholics. So reason number 5 says, by focusing on Roman Catholicism, we may miss more dangerous anti-Christian opponents. Far more Christians have been killed, persecuted, or denied their religious liberty by communism, military fascism, and Islamic extremism in the past century than by Roman Catholics. We've let these pass with minimal comment. In the case of Nazism, even offering some pusillanimous, anonymous, or I don't know, that is a strange-looking word, but it means cowardly. I looked it up. So even offering some cowardly cooperation as we continue to warn against the Pope. Today, religious liberty still has more dangerous enemies than Catholicism in the United States, perhaps even some of our fellow conservative Protestants. Now they're pointing the finger at us. So here, Adventist Today seeks to make the Pope look not so bad by proclaiming other religions are worse. Okay, reason number 6. They said, God has given us time to become a world church, and that changes the cast of characters in our eschatology. The Antichrist opposers of Christ to many of today's world Christians are radical imams or cruel dictators. One site of Christian persecution right now is northern Nigeria, where Muslims burn churches and kill Christians, and eschatology that expects only Roman Catholics to initiate religious oppression. Only in the United States. See what they're doing there? They're saying, look, the prophecy says only the Catholics are supposed to be doing it, but look, the Muslims are doing it. An eschatology that expects only Roman Catholics to initiate religious oppression only in the United States and only around the Sabbath question may fail to speak prophetically should apocalyptic markers appear elsewhere. Adventist Today. If, in fact, the Seventh-day Adventist Church is declaring the Muslim to be so bone evil, why is it Andrews University has a photo spread of dozens of Seventh-day Adventist students bowing down to Allah in a Muslim mosque in their 2009 summer edition of Focus magazine on page 21? For those of you listening on the radio or on the phone, just go to sdaapostasy.org and go to the pictures section of that website. Evidence and pictures. It's one of the ones that are on the bottom. It's near the bottom. A bunch of students bowing down to Allah in a mosque. So like Rome, the Seventh-day Adventist Church is now going for the odds that most aren't going to look into the claims that they're making here in this article, and those that do are so small in number, it won't affect their plans. All right, here's the last one. This is reason number 7. Religious liberty has arguably improved in countries where Catholicism has influence. During my lifetime, this is the author speaking, of course, the papacy has frequently been a force for peace and freedom. Pope John Paul II opened the first breach in the Iron Curtain, and the Catholics have been more forthright in speaking against violence and oppression than many of our fellow conservative Protestants. Consider the irony that our evangelists are employing anti-Catholic teachings for soul winning in countries where the papacy helped win them that freedom. And then in parentheses he says, and the even greater irony that some of us still think that calling the Pope is the Antichrist is necessary to win souls to Christ. No, I'm sorry. Liberty has not improved. Okay? So she's saying, what she's saying more or less is like, because Adventist Today, this article more or less says, they're clasping hands with spiritualism, with the Pope. They have reached their hand across the gulf to grasp the hand of the Roman power. In this article, they're trying to get everybody in the church to say, hey, look, everything's hunky-dory with the Pope. That's why you saw in that one, I just put the picture on the sdaapostasy.org site in the evidence for pictures, where they show the Pope washing someone's feet, right on the front page. He's the one you got to follow now.
So they want to use what you call an example of humility and feet washing in an Adventist magazine. You put the Pope. Isn't that ridiculous? It is ridiculous because they have been influenced by none other than the Catholic Church. And that is why we have been having all that problem. Okay? All right, my dear brethren. Quickly. Okay. So we're looking at the time of the end here now. We are told a revival of radical Seventh-day Adventism is to take place. And guess what? It's none other than what? Us. That is in Psalms 50, 1-6. Yes, brother.
But I would now must kind of say what I have to say after viewing the video, because it so happened that I have that very same video at home.
Yeah.
It was given to me by Seventh-day Adventists themselves.
Yeah.
You know, and I have had that for so many years. I've been going it over and going it over, you know, and I was just telling Sister Angel and Brother Aaron here that the title of it is The SDA Church Admits That She's in Apostasy, you know, and I see now clearly from viewing it again why am I here at Tuesday Seventh-day Adventist Church. Because it shows that this is exactly what God wants me to see, where I need to really stand for the truth and not compromise as the Seventh-day Adventist Church is compromising. I just thought I would stand and say that because I mean the very same clip that you showed is what I have at home, and I now understand it more clearly as you're explaining it here.
Yeah, of course, I'm sure you are not going to find yourself bowing down in any Muslim mosque worshipping as an Adventist, which they have their people doing, okay? Now you see what's going on, right, brethren? They have been subverted. So also in the time of the end, Psalms 15, right, 1-6 shows a revival of a radical Seventh-day Adventist, which is Tuesday Seventh-day Adventist. Okay? And that same group will teach sinfulness at all time. All this happens when? In the what? Time of the end. Which shows important events that take place where? In the time of the end. Let me just quickly point you to something else here again, quickly. In the time of the end, next chart, brother. In the time of the end, we are told to look for signs of Jesus' second coming. Okay? We are told to look for natural disasters, look for distress of nations, with perplexity, look for wars. All these are signs of Jesus' what? Second coming. Therefore, they will happen under the period called the what? Time of the end, before Jesus comes. Is that understood, my dear brethren? Right? So, this is the reason why I want you to look at this video. Now, in this video here, I could have gotten more, but it would be too long. So I decided just to give it one with distress of nations and added with wars. We want to look at terrorism taking place today. These terrorist acts that you are about to see took place in May and June. Alright, in May and June. Take a look at the clip. What I will do, I will just point you to certain things as it is happening. Let us look at the next video.
One thing I check from before you go on, I'm still looking at the board I mean, and I read what I mean. Right? The Seventh-day Adventist Church, right?
Yes.
You know, usually somebody use picture, whether it be Protestant or whoever, to say, why Jesus washed feet and the post up some, they will just picture and understand how Jesus lived with him washing our feet. Well, look in the Seventh-day Adventist magazine, you have why Jesus washed feet and you have the picture of the Pope washing feet. The very statement collaborated with the picture shows they are accepting a man in the office. For the papacy to change the office. But you're so caught up on your foolish thinking. Look the contraband for this. Look the thing for that. That is just what he's practicing as it shows in Daniel. He coming physically.
Washing somebody's foot.
That is something.
Now the Pope, who does that once in a blue moon to exalt himself with false humility. Alright, so let's go now to the next video clip. In this video clip you will see in Europe they have no peace. They're so fearful of anything and it's panic. Okay? So watch this. Alright, when you see I'm going to take out that whole area. Terrorists again.
مثل الكذب.
الله أكبر. انفجار انفجار انفجار. الله أكبر. انفجار قوي. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. انفجار انفجار كبير. الله أكبر. انفجار مستودع ذخيرة.
At least 80 people killed when a huge truck bomb exploded during rush hour. Several hundred people were injured. It is one of the worst bomb attacks in Afghanistan in years.
In the heart of Kabul, it's very close to the German embassy, Indian embassy, French and British embassies.
The explosion only a short distance from Afghanistan's presidential palace. This is the German embassy today, badly damaged. Germany's foreign minister said the unimaginable death toll was proof that terror continues to target Western institutions, but also local people.
الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
شعلة نار بالسماء شغلي مثل الكذب.
الله أكبر. انفجار انفجار انفجار. الله أكبر.
Free health care, you didn't have to pay for health. Free education up to university level. You're young, you want to get married, free housing. And then they will take all money and put a lump sum in the bank for you. Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, George Soros, the Rothschilds, Saudi Arabia, all of them are responsible. Look at how the country has become. And by the way, the largest slave trafficking of black people taking place now is in Libya. You can't be black and be in Libya. The moment they catch you, they're selling you as a slave. Look at how that country has been destroyed. After the Americans send satellite information to make the rebels track down where Gaddafi was and send them there and drop a bomb to block Gaddafi and make the rebels kill him. Look at how the country has become. From free health care, nobody had to pay for health. Free education, nobody had to pay for education from kindergarten to university. You wanted a house, you approach the government, you're going to get married, they give you a free house. The government also puts a lump sum in the bank for you. That's what they did with the oil money. Free utilities, you didn't have to pay for water. Sometimes they didn't even have to pay for electricity. That's how that country was. Look at how it has become. All this in the time of the end, where the stress of nations with what? Now you will see Venezuela right next door to us, Venezuela. I'll just give you a little piece. But Venezuela is having it terrible. Listen, cannibalism has revived in Venezuela. They're so starving for food. They can't even get toilet paper. Could you imagine that? Venezuela.
Caribbean state of Trinidad and Tobago is most famous for its spectacular annual carnival.
So now we're going to look at Trinidad and Tobago. You wouldn't even know it had literal ISIS people here. We have provided the largest amount of people in the West for ISIS. This film was made by Al Jazeera. You're just getting clips, portions, edited. Al Jazeera made it. They came in Trinidad. They talked to the government. They talked to Mr. Griffith. They talked to Muslims. And they found out a lot of things. You're just looking at some of the clips just to show you the stress of nations with what? Perplexity. And the danger is not just on the next door in Venezuela. It's right here. Amen? Watch this.
But now it's getting a more disturbing reputation as the nation with the highest recruitment rates of ISIL fighters in the Western Hemisphere. So why have so many young Trinidadians travelled to join the conflicts in Iraq and Syria? Juliana Rufus has been to investigate.
Shane Crawford has just washed to prepare for prayer in Syria. The year is 2013. And Crawford is believed to be the first Islamic State recruit from the Caribbean island of Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, everybody put one bullet in the chamber.
And this is Crawford's best friend, Farid Mustafa, seen here training snipers in a recruitment video made by Islamic State or ISIL. According to government estimates, 130 Trinidadians, including women and children, have since joined Crawford and Mustafa in the Middle East. This makes Trinidad the highest per capita contributor to ISIL in the Western Hemisphere. And some experts think up to 400 people may have gone.
I cannot sit and watch my children grow up in this land which they cannot practice their Islam 100%. Now we are the Islamic State, there is everything we need.
So we cannot watch if children grow up in Trinidad under oppression. Is any Muslim being oppressed here? No. And the full goes to live here with the same children, to Syria with the same children, and fighting, and all his belly, all his guts get removed. Died rotting on the ground for months. That's what he has gone to. That's how Islam misleads people. And that's why all you young boys who do not accept Jesus as your savior, that's what you will become like. Let's look at
this. But these happy images of schools ISIL says it runs are only one side of the story. There are reports that Crawford and Mustafa carried out a double murder before traveling to Syria. This mosque has long been on the radar of intelligence agencies like the FBI, who came to question Imam Nazim.
I'm not a campaigner to ISIS and so on and so forth, but I am truth. And what I'm concerned about, American policies and these so-called superpower policies. Sister, the world will be better off without these people.
If somebody came to you, a young Trinidadian, and said, I'm not sure if I should go and go to the Caliphate and join ISIL and fight, would you encourage them or would you try and hold them back?
My daughter went there, gone there. I never knew that. I never knew that until a week after she rang and told me she in so and so place. You may not believe that. I never knew that.
Why do you think she left?
I don't know. If I'm encouraging, then would not my daughter tell me, look, we go in so and so place. I never, my next daughter one, I never knew that.
By now, at least 13 members of Nazim Mohammed's family have set off for Syria. Children, their spouses, and grandchildren. By 2013, Mustafa and Crawford had already planned their trip to join ISIL, but delayed it to avenge the death of a brother from Boo's Mosque. He had been shot while trying to buy a gun. While driving around the city of Chaguanas, they found their targets. And this is the corner where Farid Mustafa and Shane Crawford carried out their killing. It's a spot well known for trouble. They jumped out of their car in broad daylight and shot dead their two victims. Within weeks, both were in Syria. There is a fear that ISIL recruitment has been feeding off Trinidad's gang wars. Some of the feuding gangs draw on their Muslim identity and are closely associated with mosques. To find out more, we head to Enterprise, on the outskirts of Chaguanas, where Shane Crawford grew up. Violence surged in Enterprise in July 2016 after the murder of Selwyn Alexis, also known as Robocop. 2 others also died at the scene, including the killer. Although Alexis was never convicted of any crimes, he was widely regarded to be the godfather of a Muslim gang that dominated parts of Enterprise. His murder marked the arrival of a new group made up of former associates who felt they weren't seeing enough of the prophets. They became known as Unruly ISIS.
We only 4 corner off that.
And fears of such an attack are not unjustified. In 2015, a Trinidadian journalist unearthed this video of a suspected radical training children with guns.
This fella run back, you don't walk back, it's the giant.
Experts think it was shot in the south of the country and that the storage tanks of an oil refinery can be seen in the background. In response, the government has drawn up a new anti-terror bill which broadens the definition of terrorist activities. The goal is to crack down not just on fighters, but on anyone providing training or support. And for Gary Griffiths, the only response is to be tough, to make sure that those who leave will never return.
If it is that you are going on that road, we need to crush you. We need to prevent you from going. And if it is you do go, we need to put everything possible to make sure you do not ever get back. So the deterrent will be there for all others to understand we're going to keep you back there in hell and you're going to be killed or you're going to die in Syria. And that is what is required.
Indeed, most of those known to have traveled to Syria are believed to have died there. They include Farid Mustafa, who was killed in battle, and Shane Crawford has been reported as severely injured, possibly dead.
So now we are looking at terrorism now in the West. This is in Italy here. Somebody just dropped something. The people are so living in fear and big panic, causing more than 200 people to be severely injured.
Tonight, U.S. law enforcement is saying this attack was indeed the work of a suicide bomber. We have just learned the person took the train to Manchester Victoria Station, went to the ticket area and set off the explosion as thousands, including children and teens, were leaving that concert. The blasts at the end of the Ariana Grande concert sent people screaming and scrambling for the exits of Manchester Arena.
There's just bodies scattered about everywhere.
The pop star was wrapping up the first of 3 scheduled concerts in the UK on her European and Latin America tour when the booms sent thousands into a panic that spilled into the train station. The sound of the explosion was caught by dashcam video from a car parked outside the arena. Armored police and ambulances rushed to the scene as terrified concertgoers frantically tried to get away.
There was blood and people's shoes and handbags and bits of food and phones and it was just mad, it was just crazy.
CBS News has learned a group of young girls are among those killed in this incident that has UK police working closely with counter-terrorism and intelligence teams.
Oh my god. What's going on? What just happened? What's going on? Oh my god! What's going on?
no problems here. Just take your time and keep exiting the building. There's no need to bunch up and run. Take your time. There's no problems here. Thank you.
Quick, Corey. Which way? Come on. Corey, let's get round. Corey, get round this way. Come on. Corey. Come on, lad.
Yo, this is crazy. Like, people got trampled on and everything.
Europe has been hit with yet another terrorist atrocity after at least 22 people were killed in an attack on the Manchester Arena claimed by ISIS. The second attack on the UK in the space of 2 months. Victims, many of them teenage girls, massacred, mutilated, maimed. Why does this keep happening? Because our political class has demoted the most basic role of government to protect the lives of its people and replaced it with a different role. Tolerance. Tolerance of women being abused and harassed on the street. Tolerance of rape gangs abducting and abusing young girls for years. Tolerance of all the barbarisms of Sharia law. Tolerance of terrorist attacks. Tolerance is now more important than the basic right to life. Tolerance. Tolerance of terror being part and parcel of living in a major city, according to London Mayor Sadiq Khan.
Europe is getting used to attacks like this, Mika. We have to.
There's only one way Britain should respond to attacks such as Manchester. That is by carrying on exactly as before.
Just carry on. Forget about it. Be tolerant until it happens again and again and again. Tell me, how do the parents of dead kids just carry on exactly as before? How do the teenage girls whose legs have been blown off just carry on exactly as before?
As much as I'm praying for Manchester, I'm praying for Muslims who have to deal with racism and Islamophobia due to this tragedy.
Right, so that's what our main concern should be after dozens of children have been blown up. People being mean to Muslims. As a society, we need to make a choice. Which do we value more? Protecting the feelings of Muslims or preventing our children from being blown up?
Muslims are to blame, when in reality Muslim taxi drivers are offering free lifts and a Muslim doctor working into the night saving lives.
Yeah, the fact that some Muslim taxi drivers are offering free lifts doesn't negate the fact that Islam has a problem with violence, you utter moron.
Islamophobia and sickening fake news is right. Tonight is showing a lot of people to be vile humans.
Yeah, vile humans follow a belief system that justifies massacring teenagers at a pop concert. Should we concentrate on stopping them or be more angry at inaccurate tweets?
Seeing all the posts about Manchester just reminds me of how we only notice it if it happens to white people.
Right, so the main complaint should be all those disgusting white people demanding attention for being slaughtered. How dare they? And in these times of our children being blown to bits by terrorists.
Okay, my dear. So, and this clearly shows us the distress of nations, the complexity we just look at it from terrorist areas. You could have looked at it from natural disasters and a whole host of other things. But I think this is enough for you to see that we are living in the world. And of course, my dear brethren, in the time of the end, we are told here, if you look at this chart here quickly, that republicanism will be destroyed when the lamb-like beast will speak like a what? Dragon. In the time of the end, the mark of the beast is to be what? Enforced, which will bring about what? Paper communalism revive, and it will also give us what? Global communalism setup. In the time of the end, you'll have what? Spiritualism, where you'll have fire coming down from heaven, and And you also have Satan appearing as well. Christ return upon the face of the earth. All that takes place during the what? Time of the end. And during the time of the end, we have the final warning, which is made up of the what? The first, the second, the third, and the what? 4 angels' messages before the second coming of Jesus. Amen, brethren? So do you see where you fit all of that? You fit all of that in the time of the end. For want of time, we couldn't go through all those scriptures here. But when you get this document, you will get all these scriptures. Next one. Because we're coming to the close now. I have one more video footage to show you. Here, and then we finish. At the time of the end, we will have the 7 last plagues falling. We will also have communist illuminism destroying what? All false religion. That is going to happen at the time of the end. When this happens at the time of the end, we know that the time of the end is just about to end. Amen, brethren? Amen, brethren? One more again. So, what brings about the end of the time of the end? The 7th plague. The 7th plague will bring about the end. Because it ends in the literal appearing of what? Jesus Christ. So from the 7th plague you'll have the great hail, about the weight of 50 pounds, falling in many parts of the earth and destroying everything. We're going to have the great earthquake, a global earthquake, where inhabited islands will sink, and you have massive tidal waves running in and destroying civilization all over the place. And while all that destruction is taking place, you have the literal appearance of Jesus in the heaven, which will cause fire to what? Consume the earth. And it is these two things together that brings forth the end of the time of the end. Amen? Because the earth is what? Destroyed. Now let me just read one scripture here which you will follow with me. Revelation 16, 17 to 21. And then we'll share the last video footage which I will explain to you in a short while. Revelation 16, and look at 17 to 21. You've got to read it. Watch. 17. And the 7th angel poured out his vial into the air. Did you see that, my dear brethren? And there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne saying what? It is done. So watch me. You see here is how you know the sanctuary fits into the book of Revelation. This is the second apartment. The wrath of God, after the past sins are blotted out, the wrath of God is seen coming from the second apartment of the heavenly sanctuary. So you know when the plagues are falling, it is the second apartment of the heavenly sanctuary that is still there focused on. So if you observe, notice this. It says here, and there were voices, verse 18. And there were voices and thunders and lightning killing thousands of people all over the earth. In one night, lightning killed about 16 to 23 people in India. One night, lightning did that. And all these are signs of the end that is coming. Notice you have lightnings and thunders, right? And there was a great earthquake such as was not since men were upon the face of the earth. So mighty an earthquake and so great. So when you have such a great earthquake like that, you know gigantic tsunamis will strike the earth. And in a short while, I want you to just see some video footage here, which I got on the internet. What they did, they took different end-time movies of cataclysmic destruction taking place in different parts of the earth, showing us huge tidal waves and everything destroying people. And those video footage, we put them together, and we are using that to show you that what you see taking place here, that is joke. It's going to be by far worse than that. How do you know? Read on. Verse 19. And the great city was divided into 3 parts. Forget that part. Here is the part. And the cities of the nations, what? Fell. And great Babylon came in remembrance before God to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. And what does it say here? And every island fled away, and what? Mountains were not found. And there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of what? Now stop here. For mountains to disappear, they sink below the sea. The great earthquake breaks up everything. Islands disappear. Whole inhabited islands just sink below the sea. Huge tidal waves cover Barbados, cover Tobago, cover other islands like Vanuatu. As well, destruction is taking place wholesale all over the earth. That is what brings about the end. The earth doesn't have a good future now, because the time of the end ends in the end. And when it comes to the end, terrible destruction takes place. So once again, the end, which is from the time of the end, it reaches what? The end. What brings it about finally? Seventh plague with the what? Hail with the what? Break with what? And then the what? Literal appearance of Jesus in heaven. At which time what? Fire consumes the earth, and that is how the what? The earth is destroyed. That's what your Bible shows you. There are many, many scriptures, but that is a study by itself. We can't give you all in one. It would have to take days for us to do this. So now let us just watch on the final clip. Be warned, it is a clip of terror and destruction, but it is just slight in contrast to what is ready to happen. was something else, wasn't it? And yet this is joke in contrast to what is really to happen. We only just look at one aspect. We only just look at tidal waves. We didn't look at earthquakes. We didn't look at fire. We didn't look at the hail. For me to put all those clips together, it would have been like if we just have to look at that alone. And still, that is very minor in contrast to the destruction that is to take place. So in the light of these things, what are the warnings that have been given to us? Two scriptures and then we close it. Two final scriptures here. Luke 21. 27, 28, and 34 to 36. Luke 21. 27 and 28. And then 34 to 36. Is it found? Let's look at it. 27, 28. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then what? Look up and what else? Lift up your head for your what? Redemption drawing nigh. It doesn't mean just lift up your head physically soon. It means lift up your head to God. Look up to God. In other words, it is speaking about seeking God. Seeking to have Him in your experience. When you see these things come to pass, look up to God. Lift up your head to God. That He may change you and that He may prepare you because the end is coming. The time of the end is when we see these things beginning to come to pass. So that the end will come. And the end will be very destructive. You won't want to find yourself as one of those people fleeing. In the Bible, in Psalms 46, God promises a place of safety and security for those that trust Him. What do you say? All those that are truly converted. Mrs. White says, what will be even great about the 144,000 is because she says they stand among the elements and see the world here destroyed before them. So could you imagine you are one of them who see all the tidal waves, the fire, the destruction coming, and you're not happy. And that is part of what is special about the 144,000. So we are being warned here. Let's look at verse 34 to 36. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts are overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and the cares of this life. And so that day come upon you what? Unawares. For as a snare shall it come on all them that what? Dwell on the face of the whole earth. Watch ye therefore and pray always that you may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and what? And to stand before the Son of Man. You must make sure you are accounted worthy. To be worthy, the righteousness of Christ must be in you. You must be found in obedience to the commandments of God. You must be converted, not just praying plenty. Converted to God. You must be born again. You must be a person living for the cause of God. Living for the kingdom of God, having your purpose in fulfilling the will of God for you. That's how you have to be. Or else that same destruction will sweep many of us. What we saw there was joke. And look at how horrible it was. Because the real thing is even worse than that. All this is just an attempt to put a conception upon your mind of the terrible destruction that is coming. I'm asking you to get yourself prepared. Amen, brethren? Yes. Get yourself prepared. Look at how simple we have made all of these things. Turn to Revelation 16 and verse 15. Look at how simple we have made all of these things here. We have taken time and go through things in detail, show you charts, show you where everything fits. You don't get that in other religions. You don't get that in other churches. But we get a chance here that we will learn the truth in a simple way to prepare us for the end. And this is why we always say, today when you hear His voice, what does the Bible say? And that is what we must make sure happens. But we must not harden our heart. We must hear His voice. A last scripture. This is the last scripture for the Adventist church. The last warning for Adventism. This is the last warning. When you look at the structure of the prophecy, this prophecy fixing as the last warning for Seventh-day Adventists. That is the last warning for us. So while the world has its warning, our last warning, the last warning for us as true Christians is written right here in 16:15. What did he say? He said, behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that what? Watcheth and what? Keepeth his garments. Lest he walk what? Naked and they what? They see his shame. It is the garments of the righteousness of Christ he must keep. But they can't keep that which you don't have. But you must get the righteousness of Christ through the faith of Jesus Christ, that you will be able to keep this righteousness. Lest you walk naked. And I tell you, the biggest shame is to see destruction happening all around you. You claim to be a Christian, and you're swept away in the destruction because you are a hypocrite. And this is the reason why we call it for you to be genuine. If I have never appealed to you, I'm appealing to you now. All of you all that are listening to this voice. If we have never appealed to you, we are appealing to you now. You need to prepare for the end. You need to take the teachings of this church more serious. You need to learn them more. You need to stop letting domestic problems, relationship problems, job problems turn you away from the truth. You need to stop allowing all these little problems turn you away when you have something of bigger consequence facing you. I can't beg anymore. I'm exhausted. One last little whimper. Today, when you hear his voice, let us start. I put it in your voice. I go through it. The thing is, we want nobody to be left behind. Amen. But they can't force a person. We want nobody to be left behind, but they can't force a person. The time when you prepare the tracks, the time when you selecting the clips, the time when you put in the music, the songs and everything together, the time when you putting it in an organized structure for everybody to understand. All of this labor was done just for you. That you will be aware of the horrors that are coming. As Mrs. White speaks about the terrors that are of the last days that are coming up on the face of this earth. And we are being called to get ourselves ready. And this is the reason why I again appeal to you to be serious about your Christianity. To take this thing seriously. The church has a body of teachings which will help you overcome everything and anything. Amen. Which will educate you in many ways. Avail yourself for them and spend time with your Bibles and spend time with them. Amen. Call someone. I have even given some of you my personal phone number. And I tell you, you could even call me maybe 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the night, whenever. If himself I'm tired, I will try my best to respond. If he himself, I miss the call, and I have money on my phone, I go back and I will call you so that we can talk. You don't get that from those other pastors out here. They don't give you those opportunities. They wouldn't give you a chance to study as you can. If this year study, they figure you'll get the breakaway. And they see how they are cooperating with Rome more than with the truth. Is that not so? We have provided all these things for you to know. You need to prepare. You need to avail yourself of the teachings of this church. Need I tell you how much people out there are waiting on you to do something to help them? Everywhere I go, in this country, whether it's south, whether it's north, whether it's central, somebody must stop me and tell me great television program. Another one stop me and tell me great radio program. I actually in a Rastaman shop. He says, brother, that was a great program this morning. A Rastaman telling me that in his shop. What I'm trying to show you here is that people have been reached and they have a big reaping to take place. And the people who will be the ministers are you all. That's why you're supposed to be taking training. Take the example of how you see we operate. You would not see any of, you wouldn't see me here operating anything like that when you see us. You will see how liberal we are. And yet firm towards the truth. What do you see? Amen. How we have discussions and we are not afraid to enter the scripture and discuss it. What do you see? Amen. Take example, learn it and prepare to do the ministerial work that you all have to prepare, that you all have to do. Spend your time learning, get specialized in the truth. How much can one man do? How much can one woman do? How much can 2 or 3 do? You have to be sincere for yourself. You have to actually honestly help yourself by doing something. This is not just an entertainment. This is a warning, an education, and mean business. Nobody's blood is supposed to be on my shoulder because I have done my duty to warn you all and let you all know the preparation you need. And that the end is coming even at the doors. If your eyes could be open for you to see what's going on right now in the world, what's going on behind the scenes, I tell you, this administration is the one that will see the Sunday law come in and all the destruction. As I told you last year, 32 days for the whole of 2016 without any sunspot on the sun. By 2017, between January to now, 46 days. It's getting worse. Trouble is coming. Look at what happened in Moscow 3 days ago or 4 days ago. People are walking in the capital. From nowhere, a big wind comes, tearing down buildings, blowing people, killing 11 people. Think about you just walking in the streets of Portugal and a wind just suddenly come out of nowhere, start to blow cars, blow you down, tear down buildings and kill people. We got it on video footage and we showed it on television eventually. All these sudden changes taking place that warn us of sudden destruction is coming. Do you know what is happening? What happened in Cape Town and other parts in South Africa this week? Right now South Africa in the south is supposed to be winter. Half of the area is on fire from drought. And the other half, the sea was blown in from outside the sea into the city, washing away cars. Could you imagine blowing the sea way out into the land, washing away cars and killing people? And the other half on fire, people had to run by lakes, by water to take cover. 27 villages burning down in South Africa this week, while you and I sit down eating your soya ham and soya chicken and all this sort of thing. Could you imagine what is going on? So you're being warned again, be honest, be sincere. Time to throw away the insincerity. Time to get rid of it. And don't let evil angels spoil your fate. Don't let them spoil you. Is that understood? Amen. So let us pray. Gracious, loving Father, we do thank you for these truths that you have shown us, for the blessings that you have given to us. We pray and ask of you that you would help us to be honest, to be sincere, and to prepare for the end which is swiftly coming. Please help us to dedicate ourselves to learn the truth, to find our individual purpose, to work in your cause for the upbuilding of your kingdom, to bring about the end of this world, and to bring back the second coming of Jesus. Please help us in this regard. And so, Father, we thank you very much for hearing us and blessing us. Through Christ our Savior. Amen. Amen.